concluding part of the conversation we started last week. That conversation generated a lot of talkability. We looked at two stories. If you remember, or if you're just joining us, for the first time today. Last week we looked at two interesting stories that were sent via mail to us. One of the stories talked about this lady who says that her husband he cheats, serially. And they've done everything. He's a Christian. He's a practicing Christian, she says. And what he does is that, he doesn't also hide it from you. He'll just do it without hiding it from you. And whenever she tells him that this thing hurts, husband just, brushes it aside and tells her that you are the one I love. Those ones are just, games I play. To the extent, she says the one that kills her most is, sometimes after morning devotion, the moment he leads the morning devotion, and once they are done and they say amen, he picks a phone and then he starts, to get around other people, babying everybody everywhere. And it's gone on for a very long time, her emotions and everything. Husband wouldn't care till they drifted apart. And then she went grocery shopping one day and found a widower. They started conversation, and before she realized they were in a relationship, all of a sudden she's bounced back, she's happy, she's bubblier, and her husband thinks that, whatever it is that you're doing to be this excited, you should continue to do it, because then it gives them, what does she even say? They have it makes it very exciting, because then both home and away matches are exciting, because his wife has become, much more alive. So she should continue to do whatever it is that she's doing. And at that point, wife says that she thinks her husband is just sick. It's been some years now, I think 2 or 3 years. I'll refer to the letter. And yeah, she happy with what she's doing. She doesn't think so, but it gives her a lot of peace, because what she was initially was killing her. All right. Then we looked at another story that talked about this lady who sent in another mail and says that after 2 birth cesarean sessions, she's gained a bit of weight. She's been trying to lose the weight. It's not like she's not working on it. She's trying. But her husband says that until you get back to a size 8, you don't have me. So yeah, I will live my life and do whatever I have to do. But I am not attracted to women who are oversized 8, a woman who has a flabby tummy and all that. And so you have to earn, me by working hard to get back to your size 8. That was what I liked, and decided to settle down for. I won't take less. And she says she's been trying, she's gone on her knees. It's been so long. He doesn't touch her, no intimacy. Sorry, nothing. And to the extent she go on her knees and beg, but husband says no, until you get back to size 8, you don't have me, you have to earn me. And so she saw a counselor who spoke to her, and then she decided to pick up her life again. So she went to the gym, and the gym instructor had been there supporting her, even days that she is unable to. The instructor will even send her workout videos that she can do at home and all that. One thing led to the other. They got close. He was looking out for her. And then before long, they started, a relationship, and that has also been going on for a while. And she's saying that, interestingly, because she seems happy now with this person who looks out for her, who doesn't chastise her and all that, but encourages her to lose the weight, she feels like she's excited and she's even losing the weight much faster, than before. And that's how she also lets the other guy in. So we've been deliberating over these issues from last week, and this morning we will continue. But before then, I just would like to tell you this morning that you should stay strong. Stay strong. See, there are lots of things out there that break us. There are lots of things that tear us apart. There are times you wake up and you feel like, I can't go on anymore, but I just would like to encourage you. Whatever it is that you're going through, also know that somebody has it worse than you. Doesn't mean that yours is nothing. It is, and we understand and empathize with you. But stay strong, because always encourage yourself by telling yourself that someone has it worse than you, and be encouraged and be strong. Home Affairs is brought to us by Dano Milk. Dano Milk strength comes from within. This morning you can reach us on 0244 That's WhatsApp, or you can send it to 059 My guests, they're ready today. I see you, Dr. Paddy Ayete. He is a gynae and an obstetrician. And last week he's been helping us to understand how women really feel. Like I always say, I think he understands women much more than, we understand ourselves, because he has actually committed to studying and, being there for women, everything, like gynae issues, psychological, emotional, and everything. So we have him again today. As of Mame with swag. As of Mame, are you there?
Yes, I am here. Good morning.
Great. Your Reverend Mrs. Perry Yafia Sante joins us today. Last week we said some very, very, very interesting, things on the show. I remember Dr. Paddy said women who are, it was in contest though, but I just captured that bit that says that women or wives who cheat are, quite often not bad people. They're just hungry people. And that one alone became a lot of wahala. Someone was asking hungry for what? Then I told them, if you didn't follow the show, you really won't understand. We also talk about the fact that women have same unmet needs as men, and infidelity in women is also born out of unmet needs. I remember Mama T also said that God will not forgive you if you allow marriage to kill you. Phoebe talked about the fact that a lot of women have attached their worth to their marital status. And so in her head, she is nothing without marriage. So even if she is hurting and tearing apart and all that, she's still there, But ultimately, I think we all agreed last week that instead of staying there and doing the wrong things, two wrongs do not make a right. Why don't you just gather the courage, if it is that bad, and just walk? It is not like, leave, it is the solution. But if you will go in this direction, then you're better off, being on your own. We also have Phoebe, Mrs. Phoebe Besemete. She's a counselor, light and life consult. So good morning to all of you, Mama T, Dr. Paddy, and Phoebe. You're all welcome to Home Affairs again today.
Thank you.
And let me just share, a very beautiful testimony with us. Last night, a friend of mine called me. Once I shared the artwork, she called me and she was like, Ed, I forgot to tell you. I'm like, okay. She says, look, your show last week has turned things around in my relationship. I said, ooh. I'm not going to give all the details. But what it is that
why?
Like I'm too happy because this is a friend,
After the show, what to tell you?
I'll tell you off air. After the show, all of a sudden, my partner is treating me so well. Like it's not like he is just doing it out of the blue, but he has actually had conversations around it and gone like, look, after listening to that show, I don't think I want to lose you to anybody. I said, yes. Because he realizes that there is a tendency of losing her if you continue to thread on those lines, and giving unnecessary ultimatums, So, she tells me it's been good for her. And I'm sure that there are lots of other, testimonies out there. We probably just haven't heard them. But we're grateful to God that we are able to make homes out of houses. Okay, we left off you, Dr. Paddy, last week. We wanted Apple, for the men. Like we wanted this week, the focus is to find out how can we make things better? How can I understand my partner better? How can I put my prejudices aside and be able to bring myself to understand this person I am living with. Even if they offended me, how do I go about letting them know that I don't like this, other than thinking that the way out is just to, stonewall and probably start living another life, So ultimately, this morning, we acknowledge the fact that people need help, people need support in their homes. And it is probably lack of understanding and lack of the support that some of these things are happening. So, of course, you didn't marry your enemy, unless, of course, you were forced to marry the person against your will. Then you may not be looking to making amends. Even then, sometimes people change. But if you married this person because you saw them, you loved them, and you wanted to, live the rest of your life with them, but along the line, there came challenges, and these challenges are so weighing you down that it's threatening to kill your home or mess your home up. I believe that just because you once loved the person, these issues can be dealt with, and then we can find peace in our homes again. So, Doc, I'll start with you again. What do men really need to understand when it comes to the way women are and the way women behave, so that we stop hearing you are weird? Me, I don't even understand you. I don't do this. They need to understand that.
Hi, good morning to you and your listeners and our co-presenters. Women are, women say men are complex. Men say men are simple. Mm-hmm. And men are simple, actually. It's like I tell people that men are like
simple, or so you people think.
I tell people that men are like babies. You know how you have to feed the baby, change their diaper, play with them, do that kind of stuff. Yeah, if you do that for a man, you're fine. Women, on the other hand, require a little bit more. But to put it simply, women require affection. Women require, and by that we mean love, care, attention. Women require conversation, and that sometimes means talking just because, not talking because we are going to a destination, which is how men tend to talk. Men talk because they have something to say. Women talk because it is part of the relationship building, nurturing needs that they have. Honesty and openness. Women like to know where they are and where they are going and what is going on. Financial support, which is very important. They need to know that it's part of the security thing. Security in the relationship is security in the fact that tomorrow I'll be taken care of and tomorrow I'll be provided for. And then finally, they need a man to demonstrate a commitment to the family and to the future of that family and where things are going subsequently. I can talk about each of these in individual aspects. I gave a talk on this early in the lockdown when this group said we should talk about this because people were at home during the lockdown and nothing was happening. There was no locking down in their house. Mm-hmm. And so we had a talk on this, and I asked the women to rank these items. And interestingly enough, I got 9 out of 10 for 2 of them, for 3 of them, and 10 out of 10 for another 2. Of all of them, these 5 things seem to be of greatest priority. Let's put it that way. To the women, and in every relationship, these are the things that the man needs to be looking at providing.
Okay.
So that she feels comfortable in her space to flourish and to be the kind of person that you want her to be. Take it as a fertilizer or feed or critical requirements that if provided for, your farm will flourish and would prosper, and you have the most beautiful roses, and things, your flowers will bloom. If these things are not there, there shall be increasing challenges. This is not to say that if you provide all five, everything will be well. No, because some people are just difficult. And that is the truth. Men and women, some people are just difficult. Some people have got their own motives, their own agenda, their own games they are playing. And so you can do everything and they'll still, things will still not work out. But assuming that both of you are interested in building a relationship together, and both of you love each other, and both of you are working towards the joy and satisfaction of the other things, these are the things that indeed must be provided. If you are listening to us and you are sitting beside your wife, ask her right now. Affection, conversation, honesty and openness, financial support, and a commitment to the family. And ask her also if she wants anything else apart from these five. The answers may surprise you.
Affection, conversation. I'm listening though.
Honesty and openness.
Hold on. Honesty. Okay, hold on. Let me just write them. I'll type later. Affection, conversation, honesty and openness.
Yes.
I remember commitment to the family.
And financial support.
Okay.
Whatever you have, let it show that Charlie, you are supporting the family is a priority. And each of these aspects, there are stories on it, but I'm sure the ladies themselves will be able to tell you a whole lot more.
Okay. So affection, conversation, open. You said honesty and openness.
Openness, yeah.
Commitment to family and financial support. Okay, great. I mean, I'd like to find out. So I'd like to read from you, the women out there. Is that what it is really for us? So that it means that, like Doc said, he gave a very beautiful preamble, that if you both have the same mind of building the home and making sure that you're happy together, then these things most likely would work. Unless, of course, somebody has a different agenda and they're in a relationship for something else. Then that one, you can give this, I'm sure, double, you still won't be getting anywhere. Okay, great. So we have noted them. I'd like to find out from men and women, especially so the men who are making it work in their homes, is this it? Putting them together, is this working? I'd like to know, and from the women as well. Mama T, we want to have peace in our homes. Women, so from the two letters last week, you can tell that the women are not proud of themselves doing what they're doing. But it just looked like they had to, they found themselves there, even though it is not the right thing to do. We shared the stories during the week. It's interesting how not too many people condemned these women. People just wondered why they won't leave, that was what people wondered. Why won't you rather leave? Because they felt like, okay, yeah, with this kind of situation, this can happen, but why won't you rather leave? So women are not particularly proud of themselves doing some of these things, but they find themselves there. Now, two things I want us to, I want you to address this morning. One, I want us to address the women again. At what point in time do you come to that realization that, look, if I don't take care, this thing could become something else? What signs would you have seen? How much would you have been pushed? And when you get there, what should be the best thing to do? Last week you talked about it. People have concerns about the fact that leaving is not always the best. But what should women do first of all, even not to get here. And if it happens that you get there, what do you do? And then to the men, we want to find, I mean, I want us to also speak to the men. Um, how much, how much attention should they be paying to their wives? I know it can be difficult, especially so when there are children. You have children in the marriage, sorry, you have a lot more responsibility, you have a lot more bills on your head, and you're expecting that your wife is understanding and is not bringing about, oh, I need affection, I need a conversation, and I need you to be open to me, and all of those things. Sometimes these things irritate men. How do we manage all of these things such that the man is giving it to you, he is not irritated, and you have peace in your home?
Thank you. All right.
Yes, I know.
Good morning, everybody. Yes, so I'll start from the last to the top. Right. So we are looking at husbands. For me, I have noticed that in many homes, to begin with, the whole understanding of this.
Is it at my end? Mama T, it's looking like your sound is pretty low today.
The sound is bad?
No, it's low.
So, okay.
Daniela, are we able to adjust this on the console a bit? It sounds pretty low. This one. Mama T, please go on.
Is it fine? Are we okay fine?
Yes, it's coming up.
I am saying that to begin with, I noticed that lots of people do not really understand this whole marriage idea. It is pretty difficult to understand this whole marriage idea, but many people get into marriage from having different understanding. For quite a number of people, I am already 35. I am a man. I have finished school. I have a job. I am fine. I can take care of me and another person. Why won't I get married? To another, I am getting married because the parents are piling up pressure on me to get married. To another, for the kind of position I occupy, I need a wife so I will be full or complete, so to speak. So there are quite a number of reasons why people are getting married. And so sometimes at premarital counseling, you are asking your counselor, why do you want to get married? And to tell you the truth, it is very difficult for a number of people to tell you exactly why they are getting married. So first, you get to understand that they do not even know why they are getting married. Now somebody is telling you, I'm 40 already, so I want to get married. I am this, so I want to get married. So the very reason for getting married, they have lost it. And when these two people get into marriage, they are getting into marriage acting on the premise of, well, I should get married. Everybody says I should get married. That's why I get getting married. So when they get into the marriage, they are lost completely as to what to do and why they are here. They even sometimes forget that if a man is telling me that, oh, at this age I am very, very busy, so I'm unable to cook for myself, but I think that eating from restaurants and other places is not too healthy, I need a wife. Now, if a young man begins this way, that I need a wife because I need food, because I need somebody to take care of my home, because I need children, if they begin this way, then certainly, as you journey into the marriage, you certainly will have too many issues when all of these needs are not being met, or they are not being met as we expect. So that is one of the reasons why many homes are in trouble. Then, people do not understand the hierarchy, how the whole thing should be. So people are putting their jobs, other things ahead of what should be. When you are drawing when you want to actually see how it's supposed to be, then you are making sure that you are putting your priorities right. Now, many of us are not putting our priorities right. There are husbands and wives who actually love their jobs more than their homes. There are husbands who love their children more than their wives. There are wives who actually place their children ahead of their husbands. But this is how I always do it. So I am placing God first. I am placing my spouse, husband or wife, next to God. I am bringing my children after my spouse. Then I am bringing my work of church and other things. The people who are found culpable in this position most of the time are pastors or are pastors. Many of them are putting their church work, their church members, everybody ahead of their home. Wives, home wives are completely unattended to, and they are just there. Yes, it is understandable. Men love their work. Every man feels that he is as better as his job. Is it okay, please? Can you hear me, please?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so most men, especially men in higher authority, feel that, oh, yes, my job is more important. So they have completely relegated their wives all together to the background, and the women feel unattended to. And what Doc said, women want conversation, they want friendship. So gradually they realize that they are losing their husband's friendship. Now for a woman, friendship is more than conversation. It is being there, it is being around me, it is listening to me. And so if all these things are not happening, then perhaps she feels that she's completely losing me. And so yes, we have not set priorities right. And that is also one of the things that is disturbing a lot of homes. That is what I noticed. Yes, again, every woman who is rational enough should know that that there is a point of attention that she needs, and she cannot ask for too much. If you are married to a doctor or to a doctor or to somebody whose job is very, very involving, and you are expecting that he is around you almost all the time, that is too much to ask for. That is too much to ask for. So you are craving for attention. Yes, it's true. Women crave for attention, they crave for affection, but sometimes we are asking for too much, knowing that sitting around you, talking to you always will not put food on the table. However, in today's world, if even your wife is asking for attention, it is not almost like you have to always be around her. There are many other things to do to get her to notice that you are. Like me, whenever I'm going to work, I go to work. When I leave the house, the stuff is at home, and so I go out. And when in an hour's time I'm in my office, the first call that comes to me, I don't even need to ask you to, because I know it's a second trying to find out if I have arrived. That is enough attention for me. That is all I want to hear. Have you arrived? Are you safe? And when I say yes, that is enough attention. So sometimes a lot of husbands have also left all of this attention completely, and their wives feel that they are completely left out. And that also should be looked at very, very well. Perhaps I'm looking at the second one. I think I didn't write the question, so I have lost them.
Okay, so you've talked about the men. The other one I was asking about, the women, trying to find out what women, at what point in time does a woman realize that, okay, I've had too much, and at that point, what does she have to do? Sometimes what women also lack is the boldness and the courage to look out for themselves, and to say that this thing, when I continue to be in it, might not end well. So at what point do you realize that when you're going gradually, do you realize that you're losing it? When you get there, how do you know? And when you're there, what do you do? How do you even develop that confidence and that boldness to make that decision of whatever it is that you want to do?
Yes. Last week we were looking at, like you said, a lot of people, I read from the WhatsApp, the Facebook page, and I noticed that yes, a lot of people would say, why won't you walk away? Why won't you walk away?
Yeah.
And I said, wow, how easy it is to say that people should walk away. There are quite a number of things that are attached to walking away, so they are not pleasant at all. In a marriage, like we said from the beginning, there will always be issues. I am yet to meet somebody who says that they have not had any issues at all in their union for the last many years. And so these things are supposed to happen. They are bound to happen, no matter how much compatibility test the Rachel was talking about, or maybe Stevie was talking about last year. I believe that no matter what you go through with compatibility, with training, with counseling, you still will meet the reality on the ground when you get into the marriage. So when all these things are done outside of the marriage, they sound nice. They are so beautiful till you get there and you realize that what the Bible says, the horse is prepared against the day of battle. But certainly, how do you call it? But certainly victory comes from God. So people can go through all of the tests, all of everything, but finally, certainly you will encounter something. You are going to live with a person who is different from you. So why do you think that the person will be able to be so compatible? I have never, well, that is my own. I have never believed in absolute compatibility on all levels. I have never believed in absolute compatibility. I so believe that at every point in time, you must do some adjustments. There are some things you must adjust to. However, when in a marriage where you notice that there is too much of violence for you, then I do not encourage that any woman will stay. Yes, for some men, they will not beat you up physically, but they will abuse you so mentally you will decide you feel like you are losing your mind. And in this area, we are looking at capacity. That is what I think. There are people who can handle something very, very well, and nobody will hear about it. There are other people who will break down at the least thing. So it's about capacity, how much you are able to take. And that also is dependent on individuals. However, if you want my candid opinion on this, I think that when you feel you as a person feel very, very pushed beyond what you can take, then that is a huge flag for you. And that is when you should be thinking what to do next. Like I said last week, marriage is a relationship. And in every relationship, we should be looking at understanding each other and making each other much comfortable than disturbing one person's life and making it feel that because I am the husband, I have a right over you. No, at this point, you have no right over anybody. Yes, the Bible says in 1 Corinthians that you don't have a right over your body, but again, it also says the same to the husband and to the wife. When you feel very, very pushed to the point where you think that this one, I am losing my life, I don't think that anybody will ask you to stay. Again, for most women, like I said last week, we find a lot of gratification or we feel a lot of validation when men are around us and they are saying that I love you and all that. So many women have not actually found themselves. And most of us are living on the worth and on the affection of our husbands and of our men. And that is why usually it comes to this point. You come to a point where you feel that your husband is not there for you anymore. He is not there. He's not seeing you. He's not doing that. And for that reason, you feel that you have lost it all. I want to finally say that when you gradually are feeling like you have lost it or your husband is seeing somebody else who is going somewhere else, so you think you should pick yourself up. Picking yourself up is not picking yourself up with another man. You see, when you get this vulnerable and you meet another man, for a woman, you are ready to share all of the problems that is happening in your home. And everyone will start picking on the negatives you are telling them. And they will begin to make sure that they are bringing positive into the negative you have told them. And so every other man out there apart from your husband who is listening to you, your conversation, is making sure that if he wants to be with you, he is making sure that he's doing things such that you will feel that he's much, much better than your partner. Let me end with this. Men will always cheat. Last week, somebody respectfully disagreed with me. But the truth here is that men will cheat. If infidelity matters, we will never stop for many husbands are cheating. Many husbands are cheated. It will not stop today. It will not stop tomorrow. There is a point where you notice that my husband is cheating all over the place. Talk to yourself. Take your mind out of your head. Place it on the table. Speak to your mind and tell your mind that you matter also. Let him go. I have spoken to a lot of husbands, and before me and their wife, they are saying that, Mama T, it is sex. So it is just sex. And I noticed that the men, most of the sex, it is just sex. They say that sex is just like urinating. And it is you I love. And they will keep saying that it is you I love. These other women, it is just sex. And when a man begins to tell you that it's just sex, there's not much you can do. So at this point, I think that when you feel so safe, you have a right to yourself. Take care of you by doing many other things. But getting into another man's closet is the safest one you can ever do.
But, Mama T, so let me just find out. I mean, practically, because you have been in some of these situations where you hear a husband tell his wife that, I mean, sleeping out there, it's just sex. It is you I love. How do the woman take it? And or how is the woman supposed to take that and still be a wife who respects and is dutiful towards her husband and loves him? How is she supposed to take that?
Yes, like I said, I have been with a number of husbands who are saying that I don't understand the ministry. This is just sex. And so, and it's not one, it's not two, many of them. Most men, I'm not saying all of them, most men see sex as ordinary. A woman doesn't see sex as ordinary. Perhaps society and maybe people will be able to talk more of this. Women don't see sex as ordinary. That is why when you sleep with a woman for the first time, perhaps you think that you are just having a fling. She doesn't think like that. Unless perhaps she's a red light lady. She doesn't think like that at all. Immediately, she feels a connection towards you. She feels a commitment. She feels a binding or something towards you. So for men, they think that they are only having sex. For the woman you slept with out there, she doesn't feel like that. And so whenever you see, a woman will always give you sex because she feels to love you. So if a woman, that is why it's the red light stations, they are always drinking and they are smoking and they are doing that. But the true woman, she knows that sex is not something you can be given out there like that. So when a true woman is giving you sex, she feels that perhaps you love her. And so for men, they think that, oh, I am just doing something small for today. No, that is in the mind of a man. But in the mind of a woman, it is not true. Sex is not ordinary. And so for a wife, if the husband tells you it is just sex, he's telling you that don't worry, I will keep doing this thing. So if you are worried for yourself. It is very difficult for a woman who hears this from her husband to continue to give him a lot of respect, because it is the very wrong thing to do. And so for these women, respect becomes a lot difficult. A lot difficult. They are unable to fully commit themselves again to the marriage. They feel that, well, let me be here, just be here, but they are not fully committed to the marriage. Because for a woman, one of the things she feels as a duty for her husband is to give her sex. And so if somebody, you are getting it out there, then she feels that she has lost it all together, being the wife of the home. And it is a lot difficult on the minds of women. So that the respect they have lost, they have completely lost their respect. You can always work around this when the husband decides to turn around and look back again to his wife, and then decide to want to make the marriage work out again. Sex is very important for women. The whole sex act. Men think that sex is for them alone. Sex is for us. That is where I always disagree. Sex is for both of us, and so it is not for only you. And that is why sometimes some women say, well, if sex is for both of us and you feel you are setting it outside, why would I also go out and do it? But that is basic about it. So.
Hey, why? Hi,
when you are having sex, they are
hey, Phoebe, gay, why? Hey, that's what it is, just like, so you just have to understand it and know that you are the one I love, so that we can have sex around here. I mean, I wanted to simply go ahead and ask you to help us with the thought processes of a woman who is being driven to the point of giving up, of losing it, even to the extent of being with another man, even though she may be married. But I want us to go back a little to, where Mama T left off, and help us also a bit. How is this woman feeling, really? having to be brought to the point to understand that, or to take it that, see, I will always do this, and I need you to understand that it's you I love, and forget about those ones. It's just boys' action. How does this woman feel? How does she take it? How does she receive it? And how does she move on and conduct herself in her home and still be a wife, like I just asked Mama T, to this man, before we go to look at the thought processes of a woman who is at this position? Yeah.
Good morning, Adam. Good morning, everyone. It's great to be online again with you. Adam, that's not a very easy question, and I think I'm just sitting in the mental state of all the women that are going through this right now. The first thing that hits such a person is the utter betrayal, because she's gone from being with someone who made this great promise to her to promiscuity. From promise to promiscuity. On the day of the wedding, he's adoring her. He is acknowledging her worth. He is elevating her. He is celebrating her in the company of so many people, only to discover that he has gone back on his commitment vows. He has turned away from his appreciation of her. He is also devaluing her esteem. So it's a very painful, cutting betrayal. Very, very intense. And for some people, it's not just psychological. They may even experience it physiologically, physically, in their bodies. There will be a sharp pain in the heart, a discomfort or a pain in their, So there are all these physiological effects on them as well. So what is going through her mind, apart from the betrayal, like I mentioned, is going to hit her self-esteem. She's going to question her self-worth. She's also going to question her ability to make good choices, because after all, you made the decision to marry this man, only for this man to just, throw everything away and turn away from all his commitments and vows to you. All the promises that he made, not just to you, also to any children, if they are also involved, if they are also within the family context. And most women will also think to their parents, their families, all the people that were present when the vows were made. To start thinking, okay, so what are they going to think of me? What are they going to think of what has happened? But it's not going to follow a particular order. At this time, their thoughts are scattered. They're all over the place. She's trying to get a grip of herself because she's lost, especially if she's been working to be united with her husband. And so what I always tell women when they're about to get married, I always tell women when they're going to get married, in fact the men as well, that you need to be in a constant state of self-analysis. You must be practicing self-compassion. You shouldn't let these things go because you are married. You shouldn't stop because you are married. You need to constantly evaluate yourself. How am I doing? What is going on? And take stock of what's happening in your immediate environment and choose how you respond. For such a woman, what I usually want to do is I want to grab you and say, get a grip, like take a hold of yourself, especially your mental state. Because it's going to be like ricocheting off the wall, like a ball that you just, that's been thrown against the wall. It's like pain, time, all over the place. It's hitting her hard from different directions. Betrayal, disgrace, pain, disillusionment. All these things are happening to anxiety. So you realize that all women who go through this, they suffer anxiety attacks, they start to experience deep depression, severe depression. They gain weight, they lose their appetite, they don't want to be in the presence of other people, they don't want to, because they feel so embarrassed. And you're wondering, who else knows about this? I've been holding my head high, but my husband has just been bringing me loose in the public realm. And so the first thing, you need to take a grip of yourself. You have to remember that you have autonomy, you have control over your mind, your thoughts, and your actions. And whatever you do next has to follow a certain logical pattern. Even though at that time, obviously what you do is illogical, but you don't have to follow the trend and do something illogical as well. Because there are many factors to consider, especially when children are in play. And some women may immediately, instinctively feel like, I need to attack this man. I need to let him feel the pain that I'm feeling.
Yeah.
And he hasn't thought about the pain he's causing you. And doing it yourself or doing it, using it as like a knee-jerk reaction would actually end up causing the opposite effect. It may actually give him an excuse to throw you out of the house, to become more distant from you, to become more embedded in his actions, and that's simply not what you want. So you need to think in an orderly, logical pattern. And that's why men and women, but especially women, because of how we've been constructed, you need to have an emotional support base. You need to have a logical support base. You need to have people who are championing your cause, championing your marriage, championing your mental health, emotional health, and your overall success in life. So that when, incidents like this happen, you can think through these things with them. Preferably someone who is of the same sex, because of the temptation to, also do the same thing that your spouse is doing. So you need to think it through logically. You need to. It's very essential. Someone will say, but this is how I'm feeling. And nobody is throwing away your feelings. Nobody is negating how you're feeling. Nobody is saying that you shouldn't feel the pain. But my sister, please, wait. Let the pain tide over. Let the hit, let it absorb it, let it settle, and then use your mind. Think it through logically. Think it through logically, because within a few months, and possibly a few years, you're going to look back at that moment in your life and ask yourself, did I handle it the best way? Did I respond the best way? Or did I just act on my emotions? Don't go calling the other woman. Don't go trying to do your investigation, because at the end of the day, he made a decision, and he was the one who came into this commitment with. The other woman is an external factor. She's not central to what is happening to your marriage, whoever she is, because it is your marriage, you and your husband. It is your marriage, and you are the one that's married to him, not her. So you need to take control of yourself, your emotions, your thoughts, and take stock of your environment. What can I do in this eventuality? What can I do in that eventuality? I've had women who just jumped out of the boat, and then they're like, oh my God, I didn't think about this. Or they made some decision there, but I said, oh, I did not consider all the factors. So I'm not saying that leaving, may not be an option that somebody would take, but make sure you're making those decisions with clarity. Men sometimes say that women, we are just emotional. No, women are not emotional. I was going to ask Dr. Aite, I don't know if you mentioned that, but women also need mental engagement. It's not just emotional engagement, but we need mental engagement. We are thinkers. We are thinkers. A lot of people think we are not. But you know how it is, and then when you're at home and you are multitasking, you're managing several projects at the same time. That is logical thinking. That is logical analysis. You're analyzing your cash. You're analyzing, what can I spend my money on? Okay, if I take 2 CDs, I can buy tomatoes, I can buy onions. We are logical thinkers. But a lot of women think we are not, because that has been the statement that's out there, that we are just emotional. But it's because we haven't learned how to exercise our minds and take control of our thoughts.
Wow. Very insightful conversation we're having this morning. And I mean, even if I forget everything you have said, this statement, I think we'll have to tweet it out there. It says that, that's how I summarized it.
Okay.
You can leave, but you have to leave with clarity. You know, you should have thought through the process very well. Dot all the I's, cross all your T's. Yes, from what Phoebe said, Mama T has said, Doc has said, it means that everybody understands and appreciates the fact that it gets to a point where it really is tough and everybody empathizes with you as a woman and know that you're going through so much, you know, but whatever decision it is that you're making, you will have to make it having properly. One, you have to get a hold on yourself, like you said, and then think it through very well and make sure that you're making that decision with clarity. Great. I'll come back. One more question I want to ask you will be about, so last week, for instance, these women who eventually stepped out, you know, of their homes, and it's like this is what is keeping their sanity right now. And this is what is bringing about the peace in their homes. They don't want to lose their homes. They don't want to lose their sanity. And so they have found ways, you know, to keep their minds, you know, sane. And then that has brought some peace to their homes. And their partners are enjoying them better. I want us to have a little bit of conversation around that as well. But before then, let me tell you a little bit about Dano Milk. Dano Milk has just got exciting. Dano Milk has 3 extra amazing powdered milk flavors to its plain milk, and they are chocolate, strawberry, and coffee. Beyond being creamy and tasty with pleasant and natural aroma, they are healthy and nutritious, and that help you to grow strong mentally and physically. Get your favorite flavor at 1 Ghana cedi only for the 40-gram sachet and serve with cold, warm, or hot water. Dano Milk's strength comes from within. Now, some COVID-19 prevention tips for us this morning. When you feel sick, ensure that you quarantine. Call your doctor if you have any symptoms. Stay home until you recover before, you know, going out again. Avoid sitting, sleeping, or eating with your loved ones, even if you live in the same home. Wear a mask and wash your hands as much as possible. And if you need urgent medical care, wear a mask and let them know that you may have COVID-19. That is how you're being responsible. And our COVID-19 tidbit is brought to us by Kerex in collaboration with the Ghana Medical Association. Kerex kills 99% of bacteria. Say yes to life. Dole yogurt, more, I need more. A life soup. Soup can save your life. Use it. McDam Shipping Company, your total logistics partner. Petrosol, clean fuel in full quantity is always a delightful experience. And Holard Life Assurance, we've got you covered. Now I have some news also from Fortune Rice. I love Fortune Rice. Just like Mama knows what to do in every situation, you can trust any of the Fortune Rice brands for all your rice meals for every occasion. It needs just a little water, emphasis on a little water. The grains don't stick together, no, and the aroma and the taste, delicious. If you're thinking of cooking jollof, fried rice, rice balls, and any other rice dish you can think about, choose Fortune. We have the Fortune, so it comes in the classic, which is green, the Delight, which is orange, and Fortune Delicious, that comes in the red pack. Go get yours now, and you won't regret it. Fortune Rice, always on point, just like Mama. Daniela, please let's take a break now, and then come back to finish up.
Danube wallet, milky get flavor. Danube wallet, coffee and flavor. Danube wallet, energy just stay strong. Danube wallet, Danube.
1 Ghana cedi pay. Enjoy your Dano milk and be strong. This advert is vetted and approved by the FDA.
The
greatest things are born from the smallest of thoughts. Just as your seeds in a rich soil grow to become trees that bear fruits, the Agricultural Development Bank, ADB, helps you sow, invest, nurture, and grow your personal and business plans by serving you with years of banking ingenuity and experience in agribusiness, corporate and commercial banking, consumer finance, e-banking, and many more through our network branches across the country. Whatever the culture, whatever the dream, we grow with you. Call us today on 0302 210 210 or visit www.agricbank.com. ADB, truly agric and more.
Have you heard that Have You Heard is the most asked question in the morning. By 10 a.m., 5 million Ghanaians have heard Have You Heard at least twice. You hear it in the trotro, in the queue for Hajia's Wate, and at the cocoa joint around the corner. And when you hear Have You Heard, then you know the coconut is going to be juicy and gaffa.
So, have you heard that Airtel Tigo calls are free from 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. for 6 months?
6 months?
Yes, you heard right. 6 months of free morning calls when you buy an Airtel Tigo SIM and make a simple transaction on Airtel Tigo Money. Well, now you know. Share the news because Hong Kong no get leg. Get an Airtel Tigo SIM today.
Airtel Tigo. Life is simple.
You have been tuned into Home Affairs here on Joy997 FM. My name is Joy997. My guest, Dr. Paddy Ayete. I have Mama T, Mrs. Teresa Riafia Sante. She is a renowned family life counselor. We love her. And then I have my sister, Mrs. Phoebe Mete. She is a counselor as well. And then with Life and Life Consults, right? Great. We have been talking about, last week we looked at some stories, and today we're continuing the conversation. But today, really, the focus has been on how to make things better in our homes, and a lot of revelations have gone by. But before I go on to ask my final set of questions and we can wrap up, have you heard that there is only one thing sweeter than hot wachi with Willie from your favorite corner early in the morning, like I'm doing right now after the show? I'm off to PM Wachi. It's free morning calls from 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on Airtel Tigo. Simply get a new Airtel Tigo SIM, make a transaction with Airtel Tigo Money, and get free calls from every morning for 6 whole months. Wow. And if you're already registered on Airtel Tigo Money, simply dial *110#, select option 2 to subscribe for only 2 Ghana cedis. So you too can add free Airtel Tigo morning calls to your breakfast. Now you know. Share the news because Konkonsa no get legs. Buy an Airtel Tigo SIM today. Airtel Money, life is simple. Okay, great. Phoebe, I wanted to just find out simply from you, like in probably just a minute or two. So what advice do you have for these women who have already found themselves here and feel like, look, there's a lot of peace of mind, there's a lot of, a lot of freedom here, and interestingly, it's giving them a lot of peace in their homes, and their husbands are enjoying them better, and everything is going on well. What advice do you have for them?
Well, even though it appears things are going well, the question I have for them is that, number one, are your actions sustainable? Is it possible to sustain this for the rest of your life? And the second question is, doing this, does it align with your personal values and your convictions? Are you satisfied within yourself that this is the right thing to do and the right way to go? It may appear that, yes, it's sustaining your marriage, is causing your marriage to flourish, but how about you? You as a person, you personally, how is it affecting you? How are you feeling within yourself? As from the examples you gave, they were actually experiencing quite a lot of guilt.
Yes.
So how are they going to deal with that guilt in the final analysis? And whether we like it or not, mental health is a real thing. And they may try to, push it aside and try to avoid it and try to ignore the signs that something is really going wrong. But they're going to have to come face to face one day. It may not be when there's a great reveal, when their husbands find out. Maybe even their husbands don't care, but when other members of society find out or their families find out. But there may be, a day will definitely come when they'll come face to face with the decisions that they've made. When these gentlemen may actually decide to settle down with somebody else because they may want a more concrete commitment or, relationship. At that point, what are you going to do? What is going to be your fallback plan?
Right.
It appears that these men have become your fallback plan, your alternative to facing what the trauma that you actually went through when you discovered that this is what your husband is doing. And there's nothing wrong with you. It's not your fault. He decided to betray you. You didn't cause it. It's not because of your weight. It's not because of the way you look. It's not because of how much you prayed or didn't pray. He decided to do this because a lot of times we put the blame on ourselves. There's something I should have done to change his mind. There's something I should have done to keep his eyes on me and keep him committed to me. My dear, it was a decision he made. He made it consciously and logically, thinking that this was the best thing to do, especially when they had the conversations with the men and they said it clearly to them that this is what I'm going to do and this is why I'm going to do it. I think was it Maya Angelou who said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. Tells you, believe what they are saying. They're not lying, they're telling you the truth. But this is the character and the personality of the person you're with. That does not mean you have to change to fit the person's bad behavior.
Great. Thank you, Phoebe. And let me go on to a few messages. And then my last question. Last week I said I was going to ask it. And briefly, I'd like all of us to touch on it and then we wrap up. So you think through it. I was asking last week, what is so difficult about being intimate in a relationship, in marriage? What is the difficulty around it? I just would like us to touch on it briefly. But before then, thanks for today's topic. The sad part of this, yes, the men see sex as just sex, but won't take it when their wives also have just sex outside of their marriages. This is from Linda. Adam, it is very true. The 5 points are up, but the men seem to concentrate on the commitment to the family and financial support and ignore the first three to the detriment of the woman. I will also respect, because if the respect is present, he will not go out in the first place. Adam, please ask Mama T if there's any substitute for sex for a normal, healthy married woman whose husband is ignoring and depriving her of sex. Can she give us one example of what she can do to fill that void? Mama T. That's a very, very important question, though. This one says, Mama T just hits the nail right on the head. It is just sex. My late wife, while she was alive, really understood this philosophy in our marriage. I loved her so much, but was sexually attracted to other women too. See, she valued the love and never judged me, even though at times it got to her. All she would tell me was that I should never come up with any excuses when her body was ready for me. Wow. And in fact, I was always ready for her. But now that she's no more, I don't even have the appetite towards any other woman again. Oh my God. Adam, I was doing almost everything Doc is talking about to build a good foundation in the beginning of our marriage. Conversation, affection, financially, and many more. But it wasn't getting any support. I wasn't getting any support from her. We've been to our counselors on these issues several times, but nothing is changing. Just last month, during the 7th year anniversary, I discovered she had been cheating with another married man, a client in their company whose wife is away in another country. So these things they're happening all over the place. And oh God, my time is up. But yeah, quickly, I'm asking, what is so difficult about intimacy? Why can't we just enjoy it? What's so difficult about it? Doc, I give you a minute.
Hey. it really shouldn't be difficult. I mean, let's talk about how we should get the job done. Man, you've come to meet this lovely woman. You find her very attractive and very, very beautiful. You must remember the fact that she has got feelings, desires. There are things she likes, there are things she doesn't like. Spend your time exploring her and find out the things that she likes and do those things for her. Focus all your attention on making sure she is sexually satisfied. She achieves as many orgasms as she wants to, she would like to achieve. Make sure she tells you, I am satisfied, before you also achieve your orgasm, because the rule is that the woman comes first. That is the rule.
Okay.
However, you need to do it. Whatever she likes, do it. I don't understand people that your wife says, I like this part of my body touch. She has told you, which is a gift. It's a blessing, because most women won't even tell you. And when she tells you, I like this place touch, then you don't touch it. What is wrong with you? I don't get that part. It makes no sense. Examiner says, this is a matching script. They say, no, I'll write Agama Lizard. What is wrong with you?
Okay, Doc.
Figure out that part and do whatever it is that she likes sexually. Now, if the woman is satisfied sexually, she is also going to make sure that she'll focus on you and give you the kind of things that you need to do. Woman, your man needs certain parts of his body touched, played for. It is not always penetration. Somehow that's what the impression you guys get, that's all men want. No, we also like other parts of our bodies played with, touched, and caressed and that kind of stuff. We like to be made to feel attractive, even when we are in the middle of the office, that you tell that, hey, when you come home tonight, I'm looking forward to this. The man feels wanted and desired. Good woman.
Okay, so I think like then the point has been made. Let me come to you quickly, Baba T. And the question the lady asked, is there anything that a woman can do in that situation where she's being so deprived? That one we'll talk about it. That one we'll have to find time to talk about it. Okay, great.
But let me say quickly, I agree with everything Dr. and Lady TB talked about. Again, but let me say quickly, sex outside of marriage is not free. Whoever is doing it, it's not free. Can you imagine the guilt you are feeling? Can you imagine you, the lady? Most men, they are doing it, they don't have any problem. But look at how you are feeling, the guilt you are carrying. It is enough to torture your mind. Please stop. Again, because perhaps I'm a pastor, I believe in spiritual things. I so believe that sex is a very spiritual thing. And so when you are having sex outside of your marriage, whoever is doing it, you are inviting strange battles into your family. You don't know who you are dealing with. The men who are sleeping with you, you see, this is what I always say. If a woman allows another man to sleep with her, it is like you have opened your house, your door, and you are asking armed robbers to come and steal from you. It is so wrong. Stop it. Don't do it. Don't pay your husband in his own coin. This young girl who are sleeping with you, they won't marry you. Is that what you want? Please stop desecrating your marriage. It's not nice.
Great. And finally from you, Phoebe, what's so difficult about it?
I think because we don't realize that there are various dimensions to intimacy. It's not just about being physically close or having sex. It's about investing in your closeness, your commitment. It's about spending time together and getting to know each other. I think when people get married, we forget to date one another. We think that, okay, now you're married, just, the same as usual. But we have to make that commitment to just make, our relationships,
when a woman decides to revenge, even the devil sits down, raise it up, and take lessons. Doc.
Oh, okay, it's you.
Various dimensions to intimacy, and it's not just one thing fits all. I mean, like Mama T was saying, we have to revamp the marriage every single day. We have to make a decision to make it romantic, to make it interesting, to make it lively. The woman, please, you can't be tying clothes and walking around the house. You are not doing that. Married. You were not doing that before you got married. You're going on a date, you're just going to buy ice cream and you dress up, wear your wig. Now, the women, there's one thing that they do, they take off the wig
Unfortunately, we have to wrap up, but I think that we get the point. Yes, we'll have to find ways around this. We need to find ways around these conversations. But let me say a happy birthday to Deaconess Margaret Ajwa Owusua Ajiman of the Church of Pentecost, Albert Clotte Temple Community 16 District from Ajiman and in Tiamwa Apia family. All right, great.
So my daughter is 3 today, so happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday to little. All right. I mean, it's been very insightful as always. Thank you all very much for letting us your support. We appreciate you, the thoughts and everything. God bless you so much. So go enjoy the rest of the day. And, we're asking all of you to stay through Joy FM the rest of the day. Weekend show is up next with Sammy Forsen and the Scott. And then we have News File. After News File, we're going to have a sports link with Nathaniel Lato. And then Josh Quay, the team, Philip Nye, and all the other people will bring you showbiz. That would be from 2 all through to 6 p.m. And then, Billy will come up, then DJ Black will come up all the way to midnight. So stay glued to Joy FM. My name is Adam Nightstay. Daniela, thank you very much. Whoever was, supporting us technically, you didn't give me the name today, but thank you all very much for the love, the support. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the day. Bye.
Bye.